Football is considered the most popular sport worldwide, and based on that fact, the big-name players receive very large salaries, even for a single game. With this much money, many of them are leading lavish lives, as we all have seen. But when it comes to luxury, how much is too much? In this video, we're going to see some stupidly expensive things footballers own. Number 1. Cristiano Ronaldo. Ronaldo is considered one of the greatest football players in history, and he constantly challenges the limits of his body's technological and physical capabilities. Ronaldo was interested in something that no other player had ever worn, so he bought a performance-enhancing mouthguard. A mouthguard that improves Ronaldo's balance and strength has been spotted on him. Because it aligns his jaw correctly with his skull and chest, it appears that his mouthpiece helps in the even distribution of the energy throughout his entire body. In 2010, Ronaldo started to dominate with his $130,000 mouthguard, and his game has developed substantially since then. Just take a look at this. It's possible to argue that it may have given him superpowers once he started using it. In addition, Ronaldo actually has 3 Bugattis in his garage, not just one. He paid the same price to wear one of his Bugattis on his wrist as those cars, which cost millions of dollars each. Yes, Ronaldo's Bugatti watch is the only one in the entire world. It is covered in black sapphires, diamonds, titanium, and champagne gold. Just to make sure you know that it is Ronaldo's watch, in addition to supporting his CR7 logo, it was created to closely resemble the engine of his Bugatti Chiron. By looking at it, you can see why the watch cost him $1.5 million, but we know he can afford it. Number 2. Antoine Griezmann. When talking about extravagant purchases costing millions of dollars, Antoine Griezmann must not be forgotten. This guy signed a $155 million contract in 2019, so he couldn't be your typical football player in a Ferrari, could he? No, this dude needed to be exclusive, so he spent $500,000 on this blindingly hot Rolex Rambo Daytona. The work of art on his wrist included a sapphire bezel, a rainbow cut of 36 baguettes, and 56 sparkling diamonds. I know if I owned a watch that looked like that, I'd be bragging about it too. Number 3. Jerome Boateng. In 2019, Jerome Boateng decided to spend his money on something else because he felt that his Mercedes and Bentleys weren't bringing him the attention he desired. He was aware of the ideal candidate for this position. He pulled out his phone and dialed Gabriel the jeweler, who immediately handed him an expensive watch. Jerome purchased some of the iciest, coldest jewels we have ever seen. A $100,000 custom Audemars Piguet with 30-carat stones and a diamond bezel. Number 4. Neymar Jr. Neymar was a little child who grew up in a terrible condition. His family was so desperately poor that they had no food or electricity in their home. Neymar endured daily bullying from the kids in the neighborhood while playing football in the streets. As if things weren't already terrible enough, they would make fun of Neymar's worn clothing and his untreated teeth, since his family couldn't afford to have them fixed, but he never let it bother him. As a result, he was more inspired to find a solution for his family and himself. He sacrificed everything and dedicated the rest of his life to becoming the greatest football player his country has ever produced. Neymar signed a deal worth $100 million in 2009, moving from the ghetto to a mansion in Rio. Neymar spent $14 million on luxurious helicopter in 2019. If Neymar's logo did not appear on the tail of his 10-passenger Mercedes-Benz helicopter, it probably wouldn't be his. He also completely redesigned the interior to look like his favorite character, Batman. Neymar has also persuaded his colleagues to spend millions of dollars on vanity items in our universe. He began with PSG, struck an agreement with a cryptocurrency firm to assist the club in launching a unique NFTs. NFTs were unknown to Neymar at the time, so when he realized that everyone was making money off of him, Neymar knew he had to join in. As a result, he made his first purchase in January. The internet went nuts when he tweeted that he had officially purchased an NFT of the well-known Bored Ape because this was not just any picture. It cost Neymar $481,000, and yet that was not even his craziest purchase. In the metaverse, not long after the world found out, he bought an even rarer ape, this time costing him $570,000 just for a picture. 2 NFTs that are over $1 million. Number 5. Zlatan Ibrahimovic. This guy is on our list because he enjoys blowing over $1 million on his own birthdays. For the past 3 years, Zlatan made certain that his birthdays were recorded in history. On his 38th birthday, he acquired a Ferrari Monza SP2, a vehicle straight out of Forza. Yet, on his 39th birthday the following year, Zlatan negotiated a trade. This time he actually switched from Ferraris to Porsches. He discovered a vehicle to go with his Milan jersey, a Targa 911 Porsche. But we all know Zlatan would never stop with just 2 cars, so when he hit 40, he let the world know by posting a pic on Instagram of his new Porsche, a golden Ferrari SP90. This thing has 1,000 horsepower, goes from 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds, and is half electric. That explains why this one car cost over $500,000, which brought his birthday expenses to over $1 million. Number 6. Kylian Mbappe. To fulfill his childhood dreams, he spent more than $3 million. Mbappe not only grew up in Paris, but also had dreams of living and playing for his native nation. Mbappe's decision to spend a few $1 million and realize his dreams is emotional, but $3 million is a drop in the bucket now. He purchased a crib that is situated smack dab in the middle of Paris' commercial district. 3 bedrooms, floor-to-ceiling windows with city views, and a stunning view of the Eiffel Tower from his bedroom are all features of this home. That's why this beautiful home cost over $3 million. And now we see why Mbappe never headed to Real Madrid. Number 7. Karim Benzema. The French footballer spent $250,000 on a product he'll never even use. Because he is at a higher level of the jewelry game than other players, Benzema may be the greatest jewelry flexer of all time. When Benzema last stormed the shop, he had $250,000 in his pocket, in addition to a few racks of jewelry. All of this was spent on a football that was completely covered in 72,000 black and white diamonds. This football weighs in at more than 1,200 carats. Now we understand why this ball would cost $250,000. Number 8. Mario Balotelli. Some players lose a grip on reality when they get their first big payday, and this was the case for Mario Balotelli. A $31 million contract with Man City was simply too much money in his bank account for a player as volatile as Mario. He was forced to cash out as a result, and Mario spent the money on a $180,000 Maserati and a $250,000 Bentley Continental GT. It wasn't the cars themselves that were the problem, despite their outrageous price tags. It was the way he used them that was the issue. At first, Mario was a law-abiding citizen who followed the legal speed limits and parked in designated spots. But fame and fortune went to his head, and he quickly turned into a monster. Balotelli would simply drive up and park anywhere when he arrived at a restaurant in his Bentley or Maserati, rather than displaying respect. He kept getting fined for his illegal behavior, with fines totaling $500,000. And since Mario didn't take any lesson from this, he just kept doing it. This resulted in his vehicles being seized by police 27 times. He finally got fed up with picking up his automobile at the impound after every dinner. Mario decided the problem was the car, so he gave it to one of his teammates. Number 9. David Beckham. At the time, a company believed Beckham would be the perfect spokesperson for their hair care, which catered to sleek, sporty, and sophisticated personas. The only requirement was that he had to have a very particular haircut that would cost him $6,000 to get. Beckham gave this subject very serious consideration, and his wife persuaded him to get it done when she saw the deal Brylcreem was offering. He took the deal despite the fact that he considered his hair to be more than simply his hair, and that it represented who he was. That decision actually paid off because Beckham ultimately agreed to a 4-year, $6 million contract with the business. One thing is for sure, the $6,000 investment was worthwhile. Beckham recently bought himself a small Christmas present, and it was a super yacht, not just any boat. The Horizon E88, owned by Beckham, had 2 suites, a kitchen bar, and a complete gym, with room for more than 10 guests, TVs, and speakers installed throughout. This 94-foot-long yacht has everything Beckham needs to throw his Miami bangers. Makes sense why this item costs more than $6 million. With that last extravagant purchase, we have come to the end of the video. What do you think about these things? Do let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you like this video, then make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. For more videos like this, click on the links you see on the screen. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.